Okay. Analyze. Hello. 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 Uh, so yeah, another day. I don't know. Let me do one thing here. I have not added the previous some streams to the playlist. Okay. Let me just fix them up first. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now, how many videos? There are 5 videos, right? 29. Okay. 30 videos not attached. So how do we add it? So forgot about it. How do we add? Okay. It's done. Let's do the same for this one. 30th. 29. I think it should be updated now. Yeah. So this is our like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh stream. Okay, this is our 8th stream. That is good to know. 8th day. Let me do one thing. Yeah, so let's just start where the laptop is today. Okay, we will be choosing this language. So I was thinking of why not like first complete this. Okay, Java. We will let me. Am I? Is this screen visible? Okay, it is visible. The screen is having a little delay, so I thought like the screen is not visible on the stream. Yeah, so I was thinking of we should be proceeding with this tech, okay, which is Java. We will learning some of the basics, okay. We will not be covering. If you are thinking of we will, if you are thinking that we will be covering some of DSS, it will not be the case. We will be covering to the extent where we will be able to understand the code. We will be using Java as development, not for doing DSA. Okay? So this stream is not for or this language. We will not be using it to do DSA or something like this. Okay? We will be doing it, doing or understanding it for learning development. So we are going to learn that much only. Okay? Let's just uh, first complete this one. Then after then we will be moving to Java, and uh, then the version control, and then this repo hosting servers. I've also uploaded the how can you create your GitHub account if you have no idea. Okay, and this is how can you set up the Git and GitHub account. You can watch my video or you can watch anyone's video, you- and you can understand, because it was also not in that much depth. Okay, to begin with, I have covered a very basic how can you set up. I've not taught what are the commands and what are the useful command. And if you wanted to, okay, I will be telling you when we reach the topic. Let's not divert from our original goal. Okay, today's goal was to learn this browser and how they work. Okay, so we have two options to learn from. First one was this. Okay, this looks like something which is useful. I have read from this also. Okay, I have read. Uh, I have read. I guess what is hosting from this. Okay, so I don't find Mongela uh, guide to be useful. So I will be using this. Let's try it. Okay, let's see if it is written, because it is an article. So whenever I see an article, I think they have described it in more better way, okay, than how the Monjel, or maybe there are some other websites also where they are described in not that much depth, or Cloudflare, I remember, okay, but it was not in that depth, okay, and they have like just explain it too complexly, okay, but in articles they explain it in a way that even a beginner can understand. Okay, so yeah, I just read it from here, because it is a blog that is written by someone, and which was Alex Mike and Yuri was Yaluka. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. So this is the person who is written it, and this is the person who is reviewed it. It was attached here. I think it is should be open source, so that is why I'm reading it. Right? Let's begin. So, what is web browser? A software application that retrieve or interrupt and display web content, allowing the user to access the website and web application, the internet using protocols like HTTP and so I was thinking of it might disrupt our flow, okay, how we are studying, but I was thinking of why not make notes simultaneously, because when I try to make notes at the very end of the article, or whatever we are reading, okay, so I'm forwarding some of the topic to take note of. So it's better to make note while we are reading. Okay, so I will be doing that. So yeah, web browser is nothing. It is just a software application that retrieve or interrupt and display the web content, and allow user to access the website or the web application. Wise, like they are following the internet. They are like using internet using protocol like HTTP or HTTPS. Okay? If you double click it in here, okay, so you will be able to see this HTTPS, okay, to communicate to communicate with internet, okay, and display the content over here. So yeah, with the advent of the internet, physical media has spread rapidly into the business world. Today, every organization must display its online presence to interact with its customer and make space in the potential market. Web browser emerged as the essential tool for creating and developing an online presence for the enterprises. All modern businesses worldwide maintain their respective web browser to establish their place in the competitive market. Okay, so it's just a plain English, I think, till here. So I will not be explaining anything. In this article, we will be exploring the basic of web browser, and understand how it works, explore its future because browser behave differently, affecting trust signals, speed, security queues, usability. Executive often work with top website design company to align design system and cross-browser QA with the business critical conversation path. We will also be exploring the history of the browser evolving over time. Okay, do we needed to understand about it, or do we not? Is there a need? Is there really a need? Okay. So I think I will not be reading it in that depth. I will be covering. Let's suppose if I am saying, or we are covering this, we might be covering this. We will be covering how a web browser work, okay, how this thing works. We will not be covering it in that much, but let's see what we'll be covering. Let's just read first. Okay. So yeah, this is a plain English. You can rate it on your own, and because there is nothing to explain. Okay, so I will start from here. Defining web browser. All the businesses and applications must use a web browser to access or establish their presence on the internet. Okay, because Google has their own browser, which is Chrome. Microsoft has their own browser, which Bing. Okay, so yeah, businesses needed their web browser to access or establish their presence over the internet. Okay, this makes this browser an essential and basic part of the internet world. Okay, web development is entirely depending on the concept of web browser. It links to a world of the development hired by a web development firm to develop and maintain the web browser. Okay, web development is entirely so yeah, the web development is totally dependent on the the concept of web browser because we needed this to test some how does this looks like. Okay, and there was this developer tool which we can use. We can use it as console. There is source, there is network, where you can look about all the get request or all the data that is what is happening here. Okay, there's a Linux based platform. I like there is so much information. uh, so yeah, it is an essential thing in web development. Okay. Since these browsers are crucial for modern digital business, they hire a they hire a team of developers or outsource the task to ensure they remain the prominent in highly competitive online market. Okay, that is understandable. A brow, browser is an application used to access website on the internet. It is software that allow the user to access and view content on the web browser. Okay, I think there is nothing much to explain here. Okay, let's just read it. Okay, because it is written just in plain English, and I really don't find anything to explain something. But web browser is a software program that enables a user to access the information on the internet, as a the www World Wide Web. Hence, web browser acts as a gateway, allowing people to interact with business and other through the World Wide Web. A web browser gives us you access to all the platforms available on the internet, enabling you to view text, image, and video worldwide. Okay, so this is done by web browser. By entering a URL in the search engine, you guide your web browser towards a specific web server. Okay, the browser will access that server and fetch the requested information in term of in term of. There was this thing. I don't know. Not determined with the parser. Okay. we can use it in some other website. Maybe we'll just try to go with a simpler website, which could be, I think, Amazon. Probably. Can we do this? There was a developer tool which was able. Uh, 25. So it was something like this. I just forgot how does it works today, but it let us show the content. That's like this. Okay? All the things that are happening and how it is fetching. Take a source code. Let me do one thing. Shortcut. It says W control U. Let's just see. Okay. So this is how it looks like, Steven. You should be able to see this, right? Okay, it is visible. So the browser is just converting all this thing, okay, all of it to let us see this website, okay. So that is what browser was able to do, okay. So this is the source code, okay, for this thing. That is what written here. Web browser acts as a gateway, allowing people to interact with the business and other servers through the World Wide Web. The web server gives us the access to platform on the web, so that we can able to view the text, okay? So whatever we are able to see, this is how it is looking from behind, or it is fetching from the internet, and it is it is allowing us to see it like this, okay? So that is the work of browser, okay? By entering a URL into the search engine, you can guide your web browser towards okay. So those of who like wanted to know if what I am pressing to let me see the source code here. So I'm just pressing Control U, so you can able to see uh, whatever the code is, okay? HTML code. Yeah. Hence, the main function of the web browser are to fetch or display the web page. Okay? That was the web page. Okay? So it is fetching it from over the internet, okay? Whenever you are pressing. And you know how DNS is DNS is being like redirecting it to the IP, you could say, okay? And how DNS is like getting the IP from the domain name, and just from there it is just get like IP is like having the coordinate of the web server, and from the web server it was able to uh, fetch the web content, okay, or web source, okay. And how is it how we are getting the web source or web content, okay. So that is a different matter. I have already explained it. We are using HTTP3, okay, HTTP3, and how QRC is fetching all this thing. You can watch previous streams, okay. And then let's just see it allow the people to access information online and user friendly experience, okay. So this is a user friendly experience because you can't be able to explain my bad. Yeah, so you can't be able to understand from here because it is not user friendly. Even the same content is present here. Let's suppose I'm trying to research this thing here. Okay, so yeah, this is present here, but it is not user friendly. So that is what browser is doing. It is showing it in a better user friendly way. Okay? So there are different browser depending upon which OS or which uh, environment you are using. Okay? So Safari is for Apple only. Okay? Firefox is for everything mostly. You can use it in Mac OS, Windows OS, Android, anything. Chrome is Chrome does the same. uh, Edge does the same, and Opera does the same. So these are different type of web browsers which are made from which are made by different company. Safari is made by Apple. Firefox was made by Mozilla. Chrome was made by Google. Edge was made by I guess Microsoft, and Opera was made by Opera Software. Okay? So these are different browsers. Now there are some other web browsers also, like one of the browser was Arc browser, I think, which was an AI browser, and I have heard of it. Okay? So this is also a good browser, but it takes uh, some CPU to run. Okay? Some CPU power to run. So that is why I'm not installed it, but yeah, it is also a good browser. Right now I'm using Brave, which is a secure browser, okay? And I don't needed to see YouTube ads, so that is also one of the reasons why I use Brave. Okay? Before we are exploring a web browser exact function and working it, let's examine its evolution. Okay, I don't want it to know this thing. Maybe. The first browser was uh, World Wide Web, which was New Nexus. I just see, is it present right now? Nexus web browser. Is this the one? Oh, it looks old. So this was the first web browser. Then comes this line mod browser. Then Mosaica. Okay. Netscape navigation, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome. Google Chrome was formed in 2008. Until now, it is dominating the web browser market. Uh, yeah, so the first browser was this. I don't want it to read it here. I don't want it to be it a history lesson. Okay? So yeah, just skip it till here. How a web browser works. Now that we have know how web browser have evolved, let's look at how they work. Let's Here is a breakdown of how a web browser convert behind the scene. Okay, technical jargon into a user-friendly uh, experience. Okay, let's just see what does this word means. Special or tech special or technical words that are used by a particular group of people in a particular profession that others don't understand. Okay, special technical. Okay, so yeah, technical jargon. So yeah, they are talking about this thing because other than normal people can't be able to understand it. So that is the meaning of jargon, which is this is something technical which only a tech guy will be able to understand. Now, if you show this to a normal person, they might not understand what they are just saying. They just say this is we have written a code, but they can't be able to differentiate or tell us this is the website here, or this is, let's suppose for this it is Google. No one will be able to recognize it. No, not a normal person. Even I was not able to recognize it. If I see this thing, see, this is google.com. Okay, so that is why we have it. So user interface looks like this. What it does was is connected to a browser engine which have data persistency, okay, and rendering engine. So engine is that then connected to networking and Java inter interpreter, okay. So because there are some website which have a dynamic JavaScript, okay, so they render, okay. So that is why that is done by this thing, okay. And there was this UI backend because there are some websites where UI even needs a backend to run a 3D website. Yeah, website like this which has a 3D thing UI, okay. So there we needed this thing also. So let's just read what rendering engine, the architecture of it. It is the main component of the web browser that converts the website into visual element. Okay, visual elements visual on the web page. The rendering engine receive instruction from a browser, interpret them and build a web page accordingly. Okay, uh, following are the render engine used to mainstream browsers. Okay, so one of them are Blink, then WebKit and Gecko. So what is Blink? This engine powers Google Chrome and is known for its speed and efficiency. So this is a rendering engine. These are the main rendering engines that are used in mainstream browsers. So main browsers. Okay? And WebKit uses Safari, Apple device, another browser. WebKit offers robust feature for rendering complex web pages. Okay, and then there is Gecko, the engine behind Mozilla Firefox, prioritize open source development and standards compliance. Okay, got it. So these are the engines that are responsible for you to able to see a 3D website or rendering website. Okay? Let me do one thing. Okay, it was a different thing. No, nothing. And then these are some concepts that we can read at the very least. Okay? Browser. I just read it till here, okay? And you will not be reading this thing and all the others. Let's read till here, and then we are good to go. Browser component. While the rendering engine play a central role in the working of web browser, multiple other components bring it to you. Any web browser you can access via the internet. Some key components include UI, render engine, network component, JavaScript engine, and security component. So what UI does is, this is a user interface, okay, where user get to interact with it with the browser with the help of browser to be able to access the web server. Okay, you interact with it directly, and it includes address bar where you enter website address, the back and for forward button for navigation, and the tab that allow you to open multiple website simultaneously. Okay, yeah, that is what a UI is. And rendering agent, we already have discussed it in above what it does. Okay, as discussed, the architect is responsible for building the visual representation of web page, so that whatever you are seeing, or you could be able to transfer from this to this, is done by a rendering engine. So some of the famous rendering engines are these, or some of the mainstream browser rendering engines are these, which are Blink, WebKit, or Gecko. Network component, it fetches the website files from the web server. Okay, ensuring all the necessary pieces are uh, delivered the to the render engine to build the web server. So if you wanted to see it, okay, so just right click, okay, go to inspect, and you can able to see in here. Okay, you just need to reload it, and you can able to see all the contents, okay, that are fetching from the internet, and you can see all the things from here. What are the status of it, what are the headers, what are the preview, okay, and what are the response, all these things. Okay, we will be discussing this part also, that how we can use a developer tool from Chrome. Okay, we will be discussing it. JavaScript engine, it interpret and execute the Java code, allowing the web to respond to user activity. So even if, let's suppose, you are able to see the HTML or CSS, okay, so you need JavaScript to be able to interact it with it. Okay, let's suppose if you wanted to uh, you can even say it like this: JavaScript is like a wire which was able to flow the current. Even if you have the bulb, if you don't have the wire with you, okay, you will not be able to make the bulb functional. Okay? So that is some reference that you can take, and that is done by JavaScript engineering. Security component, they handles tasks like encrypting data transmission. They can protect it from malicious. So, this is done by security component. Each component plays a, ठीक है, we understand. ठीक है, I just don't wanted to go deep into it. ठीक है, so what we will be doing, ठीक है, we will be taking notes of 2-3 things. ठीक है, let me think. Let me take firstly a note of this. Yeah, so other than this, let's copy this image. I guess this also looks good to me, because we are getting some idea from it that how is this thing working. Okay. And then we will be copying this thing also, image. That's good. Do we needed this? I don't think so. Let's just remove this thing and we will be adding this only. Okay. How does this work? Rendering engine. Let me just directly add some of the rendering engine. Okay. And let's just add this thing also. Okay, looks good. Okay. And we will also be taking note of this thing. Do I need to? I don't think so, because it is a basic information. We don't need to make note of any other than this. Security and privacy and data. These are the only things. Let's just read the conclusion. Since web browser birth in 1990s, they have transformed from simple text-based information to the latest feature-rich application. These modern browsers are even accessible on the desktop, mobile device, and others as needed. Okay? Modern browsers also host multiple features such as tab browser. Okay? So these are tabs that you are able to access. Okay? Bookmark. So if you can be able to see this thing, these are all the bookmarks. Okay? And then there is history tracker. Okay? So you can able to see your history. I will not show that because my history will be visible, and I really don't want to provide user with the enhanced browser feature. So there are some other browser feature also, because like for Brave especially, we have this. We will be able to feel more secure. Okay? If you wanted to read what is other features that Brave provides, it is a good, nice browser. I think so. Okay? So you can read it from their official documentation. Okay? Uh, Security features like HTTP and like incognito save user privacy and browser user protection that protect them against the online threat. So yeah, HTTP is definitely one of those things. Okay, because if you try to open HTTP website, it will show you this website is not secure. So that is good to know. Okay. And then there is incognito mode, where you can like privately, if you want to search something, you can search it in there without worrying about you being tracked. Okay? And then third, user can optimize their web experience by better understanding web browser and relevant safety practices. This will enable them to browser smoothly while protecting their valuable information and data. So that is good thing to know. We will also be discussing it in here on the API's security best practices. So we will be discussing about it. So yeah, I will mark it as done. Okay. because I think this is more than enough time to give what browser is and how does it works. ठीक है? If we needed to learn something other than this, we will be searching it over the internet and we will be making note of it in here. Okay? So yeah, we have covered the basic. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, I just remember about it. Where was it? It was here, but I think I just messed up some of the things. Let me just do one thing. Okay, I just forgot. I was thinking of showing you these things also. Okay, but let me do this first. We will be taking it a little below. Yeah, and then we have covered these things. Render engine for browser. Let me do one thing more. Let me copy it here. Copy this thing. Paste it here. Put this thing. A little blue. Okay. Yeah. So that we will be able to understand which is heading. Okay. So this is heading. This is heading. Then this is heading. We have covered HTTP a lot detail. Okay. And then domain name and then the browser. And yeah, we are good to go. We have not make note of some of the topics which is not required in. That's what I think. Okay, what is hosting and all these things is not required to make note of. We have made notes of that we really required. At least that's what I think. Okay? So now what will we do? Okay? What is this? We not needed it. We just close it. We will be learning basics of this thing now. Okay? Before going forward, because I wanted to make sure that whatever topic we are going to cover in future, let's suppose we are studying about HTTP caching or something like this, I wanted to implement the same topic in Java. Okay, so that is why I wanted to learn it first before going forward. If we are discussing about JWT, so we will be implementing it in Java. Okay, so that you better understand how is it working. Okay. So yeah, that is what we will be doing. So let's just learn first how does it work, what is the basic syntax. is taking time to render. Okay, so this is what you HTTP server looks like. Okay, so they are saying this is not a secure website. Okay, this server could not be proven. It's that it is okay. So yeah, that is what security looks like. So this is the error. We have seen the same error somewhere before. If you have tried it, that is not able to authenticate that this is the same thing. Okay, here your computer lock is currently set to this. Does that look right? If not, you should correct your system clock, then refresh the page. So we will not be using it. It has a documentation. I think we have covered the basic. Uh, we can proceed with this thing, or we can do one thing. We can use W. Cool for now. Okay. I think this is also covering most of the topics that we need to be too aware of before starting web development. Okay. So we will be studying from here. Okay. Because I have used this website, so I can say that this website is good to study. Okay. So yeah, let's just read it. This is how the basic syntax looks like. So before going any forward, I just wanted to explain some of the things. Okay. So I will go to the terminal. Okay. So let me explain how does this things works. Okay. How does it how does it compiles. Okay. Let me show you the diagram first. Then I'm going to explain. Okay. This the compiles. Okay. If there is a good article about it, we will be looking it. If not, then we'll just see if there is a good article. Yeah, this looks like a good article. Is this the same? Yeah, it is the same. This looks a little complex to me. Yeah, so let's not read it from here. Okay, this looks a good article to me too. So we will be covering it from here. So how does it compile? So how does Java compile? So there are two things. Okay? So there one is you write your code in .java. Okay? Then this is your source code. What you does was, okay, you gave it to your Java compiler, which is Java C. Okay? So what it does was convert your low coupling to bytecode. Okay, so bytecode it is going to get when you like give the Java compiler your source code, it is going to convert it into the bytecode, which will be look like something like dot class. Okay, so then this bytecode you are going to give it to your JVM. Okay, so then this JVM, okay, they have something like class loader. You don't need it to understand how is this thing working. Okay, and then it's just going to convert the bytecode to the machine code, which is then going to interpret by your PC, so that like they can understand what you wanted it to do. Okay? So yeah, that is what the brief of how does it working. Okay? So let's just read it for now and see. uh, Compiling in Java is a multiple step process. Okay? So that is also the case of C++. Uh, if you have used C++, you can be able to relate it. Okay? If you have used Python, so you will not be able to relate with it, because in Python the compile and the runtime happens in the same time, because in the runtime the compile happens. Okay? So that is also the reason of it having the slow runtime of it. Okay? Because let's all the languages has the same compile plus runtime. Okay? What make the difference is this compile and runtime have been separated. Okay? So in Java and in C++, the compile happen in a different way. Okay? Different way. The compile happen to be firstly, okay? And then uh, it runs. Okay? The compile code or the executable code then runs. Okay? So how does it makes the difference? So two of the points that I was able to understand is, okay, so for the first one I will be explaining it. So let's suppose you have deployed your website in Python and this C++, okay, or maybe in Java. So how does it making any difference? Okay? So in Java or in C++, whenever you are, let's suppose your website crashes, okay, every time it needs to compile the whole code, okay, again and again. That is creating a overhead. Okay? So whenever, let's suppose for this small website it is okay, but for a bigger website where you have a high traffic, okay, on your website, there was cases that you are using auto scaling to scale the website, okay, for according to the traffic that you are getting. Okay? So there is a case when you are in your like node port. I just wanted to explain it in a simpler way, but I don't know if you have the knowledge of these things. Okay? If you not have the knowledge of these things, it is okay, you don't need to understand. I'm trying to explain why is it slower. Just you just uh, ex, you, you just try to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay? So let me draw also, so that you can, those who have not had the knowledge of it, you can be able to at least visualize it what I'm saying. Okay? So let's suppose this is your website. Okay? So what I'm saying, you have for fewer number of people, we don't need it much of it. Okay? We don't think we need it only one website. Okay? So but if we have more traffic, we might need it to have three websites or three different websites in different servers. Okay? So let's suppose this is where the first website is, and this is where the second website is. uh, you can do it like this. Okay? So whenever this website does not work, you can redirect it to this website or this web server, or whenever this server is not working, you can redirect it to this web server. Okay? So that the traffic gets maintains even if the website crashes. Okay? Let's suppose you get 300 people, you can divide it here. Okay? Here you can uh, redirect 100 peoples. Here you can redirect 100 peoples. Okay? And here you can redirect 100 peoples. So that is how you are able to maintain your website traffic. Okay? And what was I explaining? Yeah. So let's suppose this thing crashes for some reason, because it is using the like, let's suppose 100 people is coming and its maximum capacity is 100, and for some other reason also it just crashes. Okay? So it needed to it just heals its own. It just heals. Okay? Its own. Okay? Like it hit themselves. Okay? How is it happening? You don't need to be aware of it. It is the concept of DevOps. Okay? तो मतलब खुद से ही रिवाइव हो जाता है वो चीज़ को, अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलूँ तो, ठीक है। तो ये चीज़ अपने आप ही रिवाइव हो जाती है जब भी ये चीज़ क्रैश होती है। वो कैसे हो रहा होता है, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बिकॉज द इट इज हैविंग लाइक रनिंग इन अ पोर्ट। इफ आई गो टू मोर डिटेल, ठीक है, तो एंड दिस इज बीन मेंटेनिंग अ बेटा डेटा, ठीक है। बेटा डेटा इज लाइक अ रजिस्टर in a library that this website is available, this website is available, and there is a worker node and there is a master node. Master is maintaining all the things. We don't need to be going in depth about how is it working and how is it not, okay. We just we need to know what I am saying, how is it more good to have uh, write your code in Java or something like this, because where the compile time is having compile happens separately and runtime happens separately, okay. So if this website crashes, okay, it will revive itself. But let's suppose if you are using a website which is Python, okay, so that is where the difference gets like जहाँ पे difference होता है, ठीक है। तो इस पे क्या हो रहा है, पाइथन में क्या हो रहा है, पाइथन में it whenever it revive or whenever it crashes and revive, ठीक है, तो it needed to compile it again, ठीक है, and this might happen again and again. So it needed to compile every time, which will be consuming a lot of resource firstly, and it will be taking additional time, ठीक है। So let's suppose if the total compile time is 10 seconds and run time is 3 seconds, ठीक है, for any language, let's suppose, ठीक है। तो for Python it will take total time of 13 seconds. So this is the case for Python, ठीक है, which was not the case for Java. Let's suppose if you have compile it one time, ठीक है, तो it gets compiled until unless you wanted some other update. You don't, if the website crashes, you just need to run the byte code again. So it will be taking only the runtime, which will be 3 seconds only, ठीक है। So that is why it is much faster than Python, because it is just running the executable file, which is in this case is Java, ठीक है। For C++ it is .exe, ठीक है। So yeah, that is how it is much faster than Python, or even in some online judges, ठीक है, or online competitive websites, which are some of the examples are Codeforces or Coursera, where they just take consider of the runtime. For Python, it compiles at the runtime, so that is why it is taking much time. Okay, and for Java and C++, it is taking only the runtime. And how C++ is faster than Java, that is a different topic. I don't want to explain it because it is not, but you can understand it is because of the compiler, okay. So and or interpreter, you could say, okay. So yeah, that is the reason, but we don't need to know about it, okay, for now. So yeah, that is how it works. Yeah, this process involves several stages: writing code, invoking the compiler, generating bytecode, and verifying the bytecode, okay. So that is what happening, okay. That is done by JVT, okay. This is the JVT, which is loading the class. There is a class loader. There is a bytecode verifier, and then there is a JIT compiler, okay, which is converting it to the machine code so that the machine can understand. Okay. The compiler process in the Java ensures that source code is transmitted into an optimized and secure platform independent format ready to execute by JVM. Okay. We can do one thing also. Even I have not understand how does this thing is working, but I have an idea about how C++ does this. Okay. But I have no knowledge of how JVM works. Okay. Java Virtual Machine. Okay. So we might also exploring how does it working. Okay. Let's just see. So we were the okay. Yeah, this process involved. Okay, there might be a documentation related to this here also. Let's just see if that all the case. Do we have a proper definition or article or some blog around JVM. No, right? Okay, they have not included it in here. I don't know why. JBD, they have not included it in here. Let's just move on. Okay. Completion in Java is multiple stage process that converting the human readable Java source code into machine readable bytecode that can execute by JVM. Together, that is what happening. The source code, which is human readable, is getting converted into bytecode by Java compiler, and then this bytecode was then converted into machine code by the JVM, so that the machine can understand what we are trying to say. This process involves also, yeah, that is what it is saying. The completion process in Java, completion com completion process in Java ensures that source code is transformed into an optimized and secure platform independent format ready to execute by JVM. So you have seen something like, okay, yeah, no, just forgot. This multi-step process involves writing source code and invoking the compiler, generating bytecode and verifying the bytecode, accumulating into execution on the Java. Okay, so this is what is being done. I don't want to repeat it. Okay, let's read from here. Java compliance support, probability, security, and efficiency. Probability: Java bytecode allow the compiled code compiled code to run on any platform with compatible JVM array adhering to the writing once, run anytime philosophy. Okay. But that is also the case for the C++ also, because we can just write the code once and we can make it into an executable file which we can run anyway. Okay? Security: bytecode verification helps prevent malicious code from the compromising the system. Okay, so this is also verifying the malicious code that can be causing some of the issues. Okay, and efficiency: the use of bytecode and JVM enables efficient extension through interpretation and GIT compilation. Okay, the compilation process in the let me give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, yeah. The compilation process in the Java involves multiple stages, primarily focus on translating Java source code into bytecode. Okay, that we already have read, or I also have explained it to you, which can then be executed by JVM. Okay, here are the detailed look at different compilation flow and whether the compilation is done synchronously and asynchronously. Okay, so there is a concept of synchronously and asynchronously. Okay, we will be also discussing it in depth because we are in the backend. This concept is much required or must be understand. Okay, yeah, so just read it. Compilation type. Okay, so there is something like AOT compilation. Okay, so what it is, let's just read. AOT compilation translates Java source code directly into native machine code before execution. This is less, I think we can have look into some other documentation which will be explaining much more than this, because even now also it cannot have explained it into that much detail. Java compile, compile. just trying to find a good website. It is a good website, but they don't cover what I needed to understand. Okay? That is why I'm trying to find some other website which is covering all the things that I needed to know. Okay? So this is also a good website for Java. Why can't I find a good website? That Java. Getting started. Java. Okay, I covered most of the things. Okay. But I wanted to cover some of the things in this. Okay. They have not explained it in that much detail. Okay. This website has also explained it much more detailed. This website looks more good to me. We will be covering it from here on. This they also cover it. Alright. I just see which will be using. They have explained it, but not to the extent where I was thinking they should have. So maybe this thing. Yeah, this is a good article. We find some of the useful websites. This does not look good to me. Yeah. So we will be covering it in detail as much as we can. We will be starting from here. Okay. I needed to do one thing if I am allowed to do it. I wanted to I have no option to attach this thing over here. It is not the case. Test my knowledge. I'm not allowed to do it. Okay, so I will be starting from here. Okay, I will be covering all of this. I think it is in much more detail that I really wanted to study. We will be starting from here. Then we will see if we wanted to cover from here or do I wanted to cover it from here. Okay. We will see from where we I wanted to cover it. So yeah, that is all for today's stream. But because it will take much more time and I have something to do tomorrow. I have a lab event again tomorrow. So yeah, that is all for today's stream. Hope you enjoy the stream. If you enjoy the stream, make sure you like this video. And if you like seeing content around backend, we will be covering going forward. Going forward, we will covering much more in depth. Okay? There are topics that I really wanted to study. That is why I'm doing all these things, because I can do one thing. I can just go from all these things, and I really don't need it to study how this thing works. But I'm curious about it. Okay? How is it working? If you are not interested in how is it working, you can skip 2-3 screen. Okay, I think I will be covering this thing. in tomorrow's stream, and maybe some other topics. If it is not the case, then I will be starting from here, or maybe from here. I will see. Okay. And if you like seeing content around backend or maybe Java, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hope you like the video.